Guys were, competing. I thought the first period was probably one of our best opening periods of the season. And our problem right now a little bit is we're just not quite able to maintain that intensity throughout the whole game. But we found it in the third, and give the guys a lot of credit.
You mentioned that to come from behind in the third like that. How impressed were you? That's not something we see every night with this team.
No, not at all. But this is what we have to do. We're trying to hang on the positives. I mean, I know it's not great, but that brings us back to 500 over our last 8. I mean, I think it's 4-4 or something. That's not great. We need to be better than that. But at least we're treading water. And at some point, I saw a lot of good things. I really did. When I stand back there, when I watch, I mean, we're doing a lot of things well. And so for 13 more games, if we can continue to do a lot of things well, I'll be very pleased.
Now a couple of guys who maybe weren't at their best last weekend seem to play a little better today. Is that encouraging to see?
Who are you referring to?
The ones who only played one shift piece the third period last time.
No, I told the guys prior to the game, generally your practice sets up your game. And I felt like we had a very good week of practice. I liked their effort. It's really not all that easy right now coming to the rink, and when you are where we are right now, the game is not as enjoyable as you would like it to be. But I give them a lot of credit because they did show up, they did compete, we did work hard, we did get better, and then it showed up tonight. And so, the guys understand. For me, it's not personal at all. It's never personal. It's just, it's got to be the guys that earn it and deserve it get it. And that's what's nice about even just, for example, bringing Louis in. I thought Louis played very well, but what he does is he gives us an extra body on the bench so that if somebody's not going, he can.
And what's up with Greiba?
I was under the weather. Either that or he was home watching March Madness on TV. I don't know, couldn't tear himself away from basketball. We'll see. We'll see in the morning.
Yeah. And do you know Coley's been around yet?
Not yet, no. Come on, Gabe.
Well, you mentioned effort a few times, and when we talked last week, it was all about the effort and just going out and making sure you did things the right way. You mentioned that early first period, 0-0, you got up in the second, and then they scored again, but it seemed like instead of the lull, that effort continued right through.
Yeah, I didn't love our second period really, and really it was really 2 face-offs. Their first goal was actually they got a power play because we were not quite ready for a 1 face-off, and then we ended up dragging a guy down because they were a little more determined than we were. And then their second goal came off of a face-off. So you throw those 2 out, and I thought we were pretty good, but not as good in the second as we had been in the first. But then in the third, we were fine again. So again, you're trying to get the guys to be prepared for every moment of every game, but that's easier said than done.
You mentioned it's not easy to come to the rink when you're in this position. Is there something that you preach to the guys that if there's one thing they need to work on, continuing on and keeping their focus here for the rest of the season?
Yeah, they've got to get better every day. It's simple. In some way, somehow, in some form, they have to be better when they leave the rink than when they got here. And that's really the way I am anyway, but for now it really holds true because if we don't benefit today, it might be tomorrow, it might be next week, it might be next month, it might be training camp. I don't know, but there's always going to be a benefit to hard work, and that's where I'm at. That's what I'm preaching. That's what I'm selling.
Talk a little bit about the penalty kill tonight. The 5-on-3 obviously was big.
Huge, yeah.
Seemed like you guys did a real good job.
Yeah,
again.
I mean the goal they got was really a bad angle shot, short side. It's hard to fault the killers. I think we did pretty much other than block the shot. But from their end, I mean, it was traffic in front. It was a deflection. I mean, we played it right. They played it just a little bit better. But we made some big kills. We had at least 1 big kill in the third, and then the 5-on-3 was a big kill as well. So our penalty killing over the last 20 games throughout St. John's, it's been very good. It's been very, very good. So there's progress. Fair enough?
All set.